What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dave P. Today we're talking about the top 20 mistakes that new real estate investors make. I have a hard, firm stop at 15 minutes, so I will be blasting as much value as I possibly can. A lot of thought has gone into these top 20 mistakes. Some of them may surprise you, and I do believe I have RJ joining me if you're watching on Instagram. If you're on YouTube, stay tuned. Just give me one moment here. And we are, there we go. Excellent. So I'm going to go through these as fast as I possibly can. I respect your time, and I think there's a lot of value here. So hang in there with me. Hello, Paul. So number one, what's up, RJ? Today we're talking about the top 20 mistakes new real estate investors make. First one I got is not having a clear vision. Real estate is a very vast field. And I mean, I talked to a guy today, potential private money lender, who he made all his money in industrial real estate. He says, do you ever do any deals with industrial real estate? I'm like, no. I mean, we just haven't done them. We don't find those often because we're not looking for them. So we need to have a clear vision on what we're going after. And it's my opinion that if somebody's just getting started, they should go after where there's the most plentiful amount of deals. And really the due diligence is the most simple, and that's with single family houses. I also think that somebody new should get started with wholesaling to learn the fundamentals of real estate investing. What are the fundamentals we talk about? Number one, they learn how to find deals. Number two, they learn how to analyze and negotiate deals. And number three, they learn how to close deals, right? Raise private money. Typically with a single family house, it's going to be the smallest amount of money that you got to raise. So having a clear vision when you're first getting started, not having a clear vision is mistake number one. RJ, you got anything on that one?
I mean, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. If you're skinning them all, they're all going to get away.
That's right. Focus is the key, right? I mean, it's easy, especially, in the day and age that we live in with, so much information, social media, everything else. You see people making money in commercial. You see people making money in storage. You see people making money with laundromats, for God's sakes. I got an email the other day. Somebody's selling a laundromat. And guess what I did? I opened the email. I start reading it, because it's interesting to me. However, we only have 24 hours in a day, and what's going to separate the truly successful from the people who stay mediocre is going to be where we apply our focus. Number two is trying to do everything alone, trying to do everything by yourself. I think it's very common, when you're first starting out in business, to try to do everything by yourself, wear all the hats. When it comes to running a real estate investment company, there's a lot of hats to be worn. You got acquisitions, dispositions, you got rehab management, you got leasing, trying to do everything yourself. RJ, what's your feedback on somebody trying to do everything alone?
You're going to get burned out. You're always going to be, you're going to be stalled in your growth because you can't control it. You're not going to be able to control everything and expect to grow. That's just not going to happen. You have to trust team members and give them the best tools to succeed. It's like that whole 1 + 1 is supposed to equal 2, but really what you want is 1 + 1 to be 11. So you gotta have to be able to duplicate your efforts.
And maybe we're not to cut you off. Maybe we will only make it through maybe the top 5 here on this particular live. We'll go live again later for the next 15 because we got a bunch to cover here. But again, I have a hard stop at 2:15 Eastern. Daddy duties. RJ knows a thing or two about daddy duties as well. Number 3, focusing too much on competition. And I can say vulnerably, I've done this, focused way too much on the competition. I'm 40 years old, doing this real estate business with RJ for 10 years, started in real estate back in 2005. I'm almost 20 years deep in the game. And I can honestly say that my own scarcity mentality has got in the way. It's got me focused on competition, which is the wrong thing to focus on. We should be focused on collaboration, where we can make money together, how we can make money together. RJ, your take on somebody making the mistake of focusing too much on competition?
That's, in the beginning you feel like you're competing with everybody, and there is a brand that you have to protect, but you're not really competing with other companies. You're making sure that your brand is going to stand out, obviously, right? There's that. But when it comes to like the thinking of, I got to get to this deal before they do, and there's never going to be a deal after that. That's just, the fact of the matter is there's always deals available if you're consistently looking and putting out marketing. So yeah, you may have not gotten that deal because maybe the seller didn't like you, or the funding wasn't there at the time, whatever it is. You're always going to have another deal come through, but you're never going to have a deal if you're always competing against everybody else. You can get more deals when you're collaborating with everybody else. So you might get a piece of a deal here. You might be able to get introduced to somebody that might become fruitful in the long run. But competition, that mindset's kind of small in its thinking. And if you think of collaborating and how you can add value to one another, that's bigger picture thinking and the abundance mentality.
Not to mention, we just watched a quick reel from the UFC creator Dana White. He makes a great point too. There's never been more opportunity than right now in the present moment, simply because, not that there's not competition, it's just that people are lazy. If you're willing to hustle, if you're willing to actually take action, take what we teach you here, take what we teach you in our coaching in the Cream community, and actually do it, you're going to beat the competition, because the majority of what you think is competition is just people sitting in front of their screen and sitting in front of their laptop or cell phone that doesn't actually take any action. So you having the willingness to take action is going to put you ahead of the people you think are competition, because they're just not willing to get off their ass, right? We live in this day and age where it's so funny, RJ, and we could do a whole video about this, but when we watch videos of other people being successful, it releases dopamine in our brain and fools us into thinking and feeling like we're actually the ones doing it. It's weird how this works. But eventually we've got to get out there and take what we're learning and actually apply it to create the same result in our life, not just release dopamine in our brain in the form of holding a cell phone and liking videos. Hey, I appreciate you liking, sharing, and subscribing to our stuff. I mean, hey, that's great. But I would much rather like it if you were a testimonial and we were doing a video together, because you actually took what we are saying and applied it to yourself and your business. Number 4, ignoring finances. When individuals are first getting started and when real estate investors are first getting started in their career, and we're the first one to tell you and teach you this, focus on sales, focus on the most important things, is making offers, raising money, and closing deals. I agree. You got to make sales. Nothing happens until a sale is made, but don't lose sight of those finances. RJ, what's your feedback on investors ignoring their finances?
And it all comes to, what's that? If you ignore money, it's kind of like it's like a woman, right, or a girlfriend. If you ignore them, and they're just, things are going to go downhill fast. And if you have your head in the sand, especially with like marketing budgets or construction budgets or your return on a marketing campaign, all that stuff is really relevant to track. If you're just constantly doing this, which is throwing mud in the wall and seeing what is left to stick, and you're using money to do that, it's not going to end well. You're going to run out of money.
Another example is money, and I think I got this from you or from somebody or a conversation we were involved in. Money's like water. If you don't keep it in a container, like a bottle, and then actually keep it contained in a container, and if I was to just dump this on my desk, where's it going to go? It's going everywhere. So if we don't keep our money contained within our forefront of our focus, and by not ignoring it, it's just going to leak through. It's going to leak through the crevices and the cracks. Final one, and then we have a lot to discuss. You talked about building a strong brand. Well, guess what, RJ? That's number 7 on the list. We're going to be getting into that. We talked about networking, I want to talk about number 5 here is not investing in self-development, especially not investing in a network. I am a firm believer that when it comes to the collaboration mentality, we're not thinking about competition. You want to surround yourself around other people who are successful in the business that you're trying to create. And sometimes you need to pay to play. You got to invest in your network. We're going to talk more about networking in number 14, but not investing in self-development or investing in yourself to be in the right circles. RJ, what can you say about that?
Yeah, I think the best thing I can say about that is when you're not investing in your network or in relationships, you're really stealing from yourself, because you are your best investment. And when you can get into a room so that you can cut, the learning curve, or get into a conversation where you normally wouldn't with your current circle, right? Circle of friends. The saying was like, whoever you surround yourself with, the 5 people, those are pretty much the same people that you're going to be with financially, spiritually, emotionally, all that stuff. So if you're not leveling up and investing in the groups, investing into real estate groups, investing into personal development groups, investing into business building groups, there's so many groups out there. You're always going to be at this plateau, and you're just not going to go to that next level. Be a part of our community. We can introduce you to some of our masterminds that we're in a part of. It's like these are the rooms that you need to get into so that you can get better. Because if you are the smartest person in the room, the big dog in the room, you're in trouble.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back shortly. It is exactly 2:14. Time to go on daddy duty. We will be back in a quick recap. Number 1, mistake, not having a clear vision. 2, trying to do everything by yourself. 3, focusing too much on competition. 4, ignoring your finances. 5, not investing in self-development or to improve your skills to get into better circles. This is Dave Payerchin. I got RJ Pepino on Instagram. We will be back after just a little while. Stay tuned.